One, check two, check one, check two. Live in the motherfucking building, man. You already know what it is. BBW. Happy hour. Y'all niggas ready? I'm high as hell. I don't even know. It must be the stogie, the drinks. That half a joint I had and shit.
Pay me that.
Oh, you need some more?
Yeah.
I'm fucking around. I'm still fucking with the one shit. Y'all tapping in, man. This is the live show. We obviously already recorded for this week. Let me get my life right. There it is. All right. I was waiting on that shit to pop up. This shit is way behind. I didn't know that shit was that far behind. All right, shit. Let's get the chat going on up here.
Chat. What y'all folks got to chat about?
Right. I don't even know. We gonna see what they talking about. We gonna see a Son of Liberty pop in because I know he been waiting. He been waiting for the BBW show and shit. See if he pop in, dog. Y'all looks ready, man.
That motherfucker with Adrian.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who it is.
I think I know.
You think you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like I ain't talked to this dude in like years.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that shit out, dog. All right, dog. We here. Y'all ready to get to it?
Let's go.
All right. If you're just now chiming in, this is the happy hour, BBW happy hour. That is Everybody Loves BBW. That's Beards, Bourbon, Whiskey Podcast. You got the whole gang back in the building, man. Got my man Angry Principal off camera.
What's up?
Got my man Bo in the building.
I'll say.
And of course, man, it's your boy Q Lewis holding it down live from the 48205, man. Red Zone, baby. All right, so we've been doing a lot of drinking. Obviously, we recorded a few episodes of the Beards, Bourbon, Whiskey Podcast, which will be debuting this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on eblockradio.com. So make sure you tune in, dog. We go. I don't know which one I'm gonna post first, but just be sure to check us out because we got some new shit to talk about. All right. So this is the happy hour, though, right? This is a live show where we just talk a whole bunch of shit about a whole bunch of shit. And
Chinese weather balloon, the spy balloon.
This fucking Chinese spy balloon, dog. So I want to talk about damn, what I said we was gonna talk about first?
The Uber shit.
The Uber shit, yes. All right, so let's talk about this
Uber
shit, dog.
shit.
All right, so this is just random conversations. Damn, we should do the damn, I'm gonna figure out how to do that because we can do the double tap doing this type of shit. Yeah, but I'll figure that shit out next time. All right, so this is what we're doing, dog. If you're checking us out right now, you can actually comment below. You say you want some whiskey? What up, though? I'll save you some. You should have been ready. I'd have came and got you.
Come get you a couple pours.
No, for sure. All right, so this is the thing, dog. This is how we gonna start off. This is a random conversation we was having off air before we got started, dog. So for the people listening, dog, dudes, ladies, whoever out there, dog, we want to know. All right. So you having an occurrence with a young lady, right? Is it against the rules or is it in poor taste to send her home in an Uber?
Hell no.
After the experience, dog.
No.
This is the question. Now, so let me say this. A few years back, when I was working at General Motors, I worked with a bunch of millennials, right? And I think I had talked about this on the Wake and Bake show. We just happened to be having a conversation about it. And I was kind of surprised about how taken aback they were.
Millennials or Gen Zers, though?
Millennials.
Okay.
Yeah, Gen Zers is like, kind of us. You know what I'm saying?
No, we kind of millennials.
Yeah, we on the cusp.
Gen Zers are younger than us.
Oh.
Yeah, we in the, not Z, but I'm thinking about the what was we supposed to be?
X. Or close to X.
Something like
close
that.
To X,
whatever, some shit, right?
Whatever, yeah. My bad, anyway.
So we on the cusp, though, of them. Like, these was like younger millennials. These niggas was like 22, 23. So they was appalled. Like, you can't send nobody home in an Uber. I respectfully decline to say that that's a bad idea. What is the difference? Like, if I was sending you a car, if I was sending you if you was getting picked up by a chauffeur, what's the difference? Like, what if I don't have a car? Like, how else you gonna get? Like, I'm supposed to ride it. I'm supposed to pay twice for an Uber.
I mean, I could give you $1.75 for the bus and shit,
wow.
Right? I'm getting you an Uber Black, right? You're gonna be comfortable and shit.
Right.
You're gonna have nice heat or air conditioning.
Right. It's probably gonna be the caddy truck.
You're probably gonna have some snacks in that bitch or something, and water or something, maybe. Like, you straight.
I don't think it's a deal, dog. I don't know. I didn't think it was
a basic economy lift.
That's it.
The one for $15.95. Like, you want the motherfucking comfort. You
just want to get there. You just want to get there? Okay.
Oh, no. So, let me see. We got Shonda on the tap now. She said, yes, it is. I would lose my mind. I'm moving in. What you mean send me home? Damn.
What? Oh, this is a 6-hour arrangement right here, okay?
Damn.
But
So
You had
after
that
6 hours,
elusive
you got...
snapping to just say you moving in after one time.
Right? Yeah.
hey, mental note.
Right.
Don't send her
Don't-
home in the Uber.
No, don't hook up with Shauna.
She gonna move in.
She gonna move in, bitch.
Dog, hella funny, dog. But yeah, she saying hell no is a no go. A lot of the
I mean,
a lot of women in the office were saying that too, though.
that's
So,
cool, though, I guess. I mean, but like,
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
my question is, what would you like us to do then? Mm-hmm. Especially if brother ain't got no ride, though. You know what I mean?
So like, if you ain't got no ride, or if like we just been getting fucked up, like what if we just fucked up and no, you can't stay till tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like you gotta go home. I don't feel comfortable driving you to the crib, so you getting home. Like
Right.
I think that would be the sensible thing.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Hey, your principal, what you think? I know you've been out the game for a
I've been
long
out the game
time.
so long, I wouldn't know what to do.
It wasn't even no Ubers when you was in the
Right.
game.
That wasn't even an issue. So
Yeah.
for me, you said the stipulation is no car?
Let's say you don't have a car, or let's say you got a car and you just.
You got a car, then I got to get you home. You know,
I
But what
ain't
if I'm
getting you
what
home.
if I'm drunk though?
I'm gonna practice my drunk driving. You
Oh
willing to
shit, we
take-
ain't both got no
know,
die over some pussy. Yeah.
You know, if I'm willing to let you up in my house, then I kicking you out is not necessarily something I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna do
It's
like
not
I do.
necessarily kicking you out.
I'm gonna do like I do at work.
I don't necessarily have a time limit on you being there because I let you into my house. But if I trust you enough to bring you into my house,
6 hours.
6 hours. Nigga say you
6 hour
do a
time
shift
limit.
in my shit and then you out there.
I'm just saying, right?
You dead ass.
6 hours, you know.
It's long enough for you to be in my house.
I don't know. I've been out the game so long that
Yeah.
I'm throwing an Uber out there would be to me
Yeah.
kind of like this is a hit it and quit it kind of deal. That's the way I would be looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get to know you. I'm just trying to hit this and you got to go, and that's it.
Right.
That nigga said right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm saying, right? So if y'all not in a relationship, it's different if you're in a relationship, obviously, you know, so I'm not going to go there because that's just obviously different. But like if it's just something that like you said, is one night stand or something like we got to understand it or some shit like, then
Or what
what's-
if something just come up? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
fuck
what if you
But
pull
see,
up
but-
and like I was gonna take you home, but like some other shit, I gotta go do this and I know you gotta get home, so let me get you to the
But it
crib.
ain't even got to be that. I just don't want to get up. I just don't want to do the shit. As simple as that.
No, I said I just don't want to.
I just don't want
I'm
to,
done
right?
working. I'm done. I'm going back to bed. That's it.
I'm gonna put you in a nice ass car
Dog, she's
to
stupid.
go wherever you gotta go.
Hey, she said that's why I want to be a stud. Me and have all the fun.
Hey, do what you do, baby girl. You know, hey, do what you do.
No, I'm gonna need you not to be a stud. Anyway, so that's I'm gonna need you not to be a
Do
stud.
whatever makes you happy.
Man, I just won't send you home in the Uber.
But
That's
understand
fine.
you're going home in the Uber Black, okay?
Right, it ain't like it's gonna be the whole ass Uber.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you you can be in luxury for a few minutes anyway.
few
You know? Yes, right? No,
I guess all we
don't
can
know.
say because I don't
Yeah.
feel bad about that.
Not at all, not one bit.
Yeah, I don't.
don't
Damn,
know. I
you
just-
fucked up. You say you wouldn't think of that.
I wouldn't even think that was an option.
Right.
You know, but like I said, if I let you in my house, then you know it'd be something different. If we was at a hotel, maybe.
Yeah.
I can see you doing something different that way. Only because you got a.
And see, and that's what I'm more freaked
I
out
don't know.
about, right?
I don't know.
I know I didn't got this stranger that I done known for probably the last 3 hours or so. So in my house and shit, right? Like so, damn, I'm already kind of tripping about that. But like then after we did the deed, you know, obviously it's done. You got to go, right? I mean,
Now, yeah, that's a whole different situation. Now, if this the for real one nighter, like I literally
go.
just met you at the club,
yeah, you got to go.
man, shit, I'm not
gotta
even
go.
letting you know that I'm hitting the Uber. I'm letting you know when that motherfucker outside. Like, the fuck, that's a whole different story. Like it's like like you meet this motherfucker wherever you at and shit, you bring it to the crib, like you know what I'm saying, motherfucker do what it do and shit. I'm gonna let her know, hey, little baby, Uber say it's 10 minutes away. I'm not even giving her a chance to be mad. Like, you gonna be mad or not? Because, like, otherwise.
You want a Cadillac or a Lincoln? Lincoln,
You want
okay.
a Cadillac or a Lincoln,
got
dog?
I mean, it could be a Hyundai or a fucking, Escape. You know,
Fucking escape.
Check the Sonata.
Sonata. I swear I was gonna say, low key, there's a lot of room in that motherfucking Sonata. I ain't gonna lie to you.
hey, shit.
Dog, fucking Uber though. If you ain't got no car though, it's like, what the fuck? I don't know.
If you don't have a car, I kind of understand.
Because how else you go get home?
So what if you live in a city like New York or Chicago or some shit when people don't really drive like that
Facts.
anyway though,
Facts.
right?
Yeah.
You know,
And that's where I got the idea from. You see that shit on movies. And obviously, niggas in New York, they move around like that. So I think it's here. People look at it funny because it's like, Uber, like, yeah, nigga, that's how people everywhere else get the fuck around.
That's true.
Some niggas don't even have a car, like, on purpose.
For sure.
So it's like, I think niggas look at that shit different.
When I lived in South Korea for 2 years and like didn't have a car that whole time because fucking public transportation is so good, right? I mean, in them situations, you got to be a little bit more direct. Like, look, it's 7:30 a.m. We understand what's happening here, right? Stop.
Our transaction is complete.
Okay.
Hope you had fun.
Right.
Or don't let me be at work night, like, hey, because I was still in the army at that time, right? Hey, baby, I got formation at 6, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not leaving you in my house by yourself, so you got to be gone by like 5 o'clock, right?
You gotta know.
And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? This is what it is.
Okay, Chris say you don't know nothing about that
I don't
shit.
know anything about it, so
Yeah, good Uber, dog. All right, so anyway, we fucked around a little
I
bit.
cannot express how happy I am that I'm nowhere near the game.
Yeah.
I don't think I
the
could
game
function,
is
man.
tough. The
I
game
couldn't
is tough.
function. I really
But
couldn't
see, like,
function, man.
at our age now, so, I know you quite a bit older than us, but
Get the fuck out of here. Nigga, we the same age, nigga.
but it's like,
I knew that shit. I knew that shit was coming.
if you're messing with females that's around our age, like they understand what it is. They know what's going on, right? It's the younger females, and they kind of. I think I'm done with them young females, man. They wear me out. They wild. They got unrealistic expectations. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
That was fun, dog. That was a fun conversation. Unfortunately,
Thank God I'm out the game, man.
unfortunately, we gotta have a real conversation now and shit. We started off with the jokes.
All right, it could be serious and shit.
Now we're gonna have a serious conversation, dog. Talking about senior Q, whatever. I'm not that old little baby. All right, so serious conversation. Obviously, we gotta talk about Tyree Nichols and that whole situation in Memphis. Let's what angle we want to come in that motherfucker first, dog?
Oh, it's just sad to me.
I want to come in this angle. I'm gonna cut past the shit that everybody that we know already. I'm gonna talk about the biggest shit. Is this shit because these niggas was mad about a bitch? That's what I need to know. Is this shit true?
I didn't even know that was a.
Oh, this is a thing.
factor.
This is a thing. Like it hasn't been proven, but they little streets is talking in Memphis, right? So word on the street is that dog got a beef with my mans and shit. One of the police officers got a beef with dog over his baby mama or some shit. And it could have been some shit like that where they was basically looking for him and was going to like rough him up and
Hey
shit.
man, you done ended a life,
Bro,
and gone. Now you're ended 2 lives. No, 7 lives
bro,
over a woman.
bro. Again, I don't know how true this shit is, but I want to say this just
Let's just say it's true.
right. So
let's
just
just say it's true.
like I said this on the morning show.
Not only have I taken 1 life,
yeah.
now the other 6 cops, so that's 7 lives total, have now been forever ruined over a grudge over a woman.
6 cops and a kid, apparently, because if this your baby mama.
And a kid.
It's your
So
son,
8
too, right? Exactly.
8 people directly, like, completely entrenched in it. We ain't talking about the rest of the family
Bruh.
and friends and all that stuff. But this
Bruh.
is over a woman? This is over a relationship?
This is
over a baby mama?
This is theoretically. I don't know if this shit, it's allegedly, I guess.
Let's
is
say
what they
it is. Let's say this is actually truth. I'm not saying it is. Let's say it's actually truth. Why? What is so important that you would kill this dude and ruin all these other lives? What was so important about this one piece of ass that you had to go and kill the man and then ruin all these other lives in the process? What was so important?
I think that's where you got to look at the problem with policing, man. It's just these cats be so just control freaks, right? They don't like to have their authority challenged and that type of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And like you said, this was the perfect piece for Fox News because it's all black cops and whatnot. Like, oh yeah, so much for the policing problem and white supremacy and whatnot, right? And it's still white supremacy, because it comes from that system and people don't see that. And you look back at, you look at back when Jim Crow or during slavery, what is the tool that white supremacy usually use to affect other black folks that are trying to change things, right? Other black people. You know what I mean?
sure.
It's happened all the time, right? And they equip these cops, man, to, hey, these people, don't worry about this, don't worry about that, we got your back, blah, blah, blah. They fall into that whole blue line shit, and it's just us against the world, man, right? And dog, all that shit's about control, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, whether he loved that girl or didn't love that girl, I don't even know if that shit's even true, like you said.
Yeah.
But dog, the shit's just sad, man, when it comes down to it.
And then, like, just going, like, even moving past that. First of all, let me say this before I move further. I want to be on record again, like me and Mark was saying this shit the other day on the show. You are the ultimate bitch nigga if this is what you going through over some pussy. And your friends is the ultimate bitch niggas to let you be crying about this shit in the basement and telling them this is what you want to do when you go on patrol. And they agreeing with that shit. Y'all the ultimate bitch niggas too. Y'all are. And this is the conversation, unfortunately, that we have all the time about bitch niggas who get badges. We talk about this shit all the time. That a lot of motherfuckers was getting bullied. They was soft. Then they get this badge. They want to exude their power. A lot of that shit happens, right? But I want to move past that part, though, right? I want to look at the fact that this shit happened. Dog died or whatever. How many niggas' asses they done beat to the brink of death?
Exactly.
Because this is a squad, the Scorpion Squad. They sending these niggas out to kick niggas' asses. They kicking niggas' asses every day. This nigga just happened to die. They doing this on a daily basis. That's why they ain't think shit of it.
I mean, I've heard enough cop stories to know that they go. They got a rough job. Don't let me diminish anything.
No, I
that
ain't prefacing none of this shit.
They got a rough job because anytime
do,
you
though.
literally putting your life on the line every single day, you don't know what that person gets.
Here's my thing to that, though. You understand that when you get into it.
Yes,
you know
you
what I mean?
do.
I went into the military. I understood when I signed on that. This is all the shit I'm gonna have to put up with, and the shit that's gonna put my life in danger or whatever.
Shit that
else.
might happen.
Like this is shit that may happen, right?
But after the first 3 punches, somebody should have said, "All right, we done."
They should have. You're right.
Yeah.
I can give you 3 hits. I can understand 3 hits. Whether it's about a woman or not. I can understand you getting your 3 licks in, deuces, we out.
Yeah.
But to go and literally hit this man to the point where his neck is broken, and you still hitting him, and you still kicking
Did
him.
y'all watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that shit.
I didn't watch
But
it.
literally, my kids cried.
Yeah.
My kids were
In tears.
totally outdone. But I'm not going to shield them from it.
Facts.
And plus, mine are a little older. They're not little kids. They're
Yeah.
teenagers and older. So they need to see this because
it's the world.
all
they
of
live in.
that conversation I had with my son and my daughter about what to do if you get stopped by the police on a routine traffic stop, he did it.
Yeah.
He did everything that we would have asked our child to do if you get stopped by the police.
Yeah.
And he still lost his life.
Yeah.
Now that is the part that's most sad to me because we tried to prepare our kids for just in case this happens.
Yeah.
And this guy still died and he did everything right.
Yeah.
He said, I'm on the ground. I can't go any lower. Get on your stomach. Okay, well, he got on his stomach. You still kicked him while he was down.
Nah, initially they said he ran and shit.
I
So
would run too.
So let me go back
After
to
the
that.
first 3 hits.
No,
my man, he
it
got
ain't,
up
it ain't even that for me though, right? He ran because these niggas got a MO. He know what they do to niggas. That's why he ran.
Okay.
Cause they kicking niggas ass. Like, no, that's the part that I don't want to escape niggas. Like, they sicken these niggas to the neighborhood, nigga.
But my thing is,
just like we grew up in Gang Squad. They sicken. Gang Squad did so much illegal shit to niggas. Bro, like them niggas is criminals.
now on the video,
niggas criminals.
you see that hand use the taser.
Yeah.
Now in the dark, you can't tell if it's white or black or what.
Yeah,
It took a while for them to point out that white guy
yeah,
Oh yeah.
and fire him.
yeah.
It took a
For
minute.
sure.
So what were they? Now I appreciate the fact that the police chief came out and said everything so quickly, but still, you waited on some stuff.
The police
You waited
chief.
on some stuff.
The police chief, dog. It's not the police chief though. But did y'all hear fucking Jason Whitlock though?
I don't listen to him, man. It's just-
Did y'all hear that?
He
nigga?
trying to do what Candace Owens does and try to make clickbait. And
That dude's
screw
a
him.
clown, though, man.
He trying to make
fucking
money
clown.
off. He trying to make money off of right wing. That's all.
Okay.
I understand what he's
So we ain't gonna give him no.
Don't give him no push. Man.
right.
You know, if anybody who has squandered their intelligence is Jason Whitlock.
Okay. All right. I got you. Cause you know I was gonna go
I'm
there.
okay with you being conservative because on some things I am conservative.
Yeah.
But when it comes to social issues, you can't be an idiot.
You can't be. Yeah.
He a straight idiot when it comes to that stuff. So,
I couldn't believe that. You know what? We're not going to get that win,
don't
but
get
if you're
that
watching this video right now, just look for Jason Whitlock's fucking...
Don't look for it. It's a waste of time.
You going to be curious. You curious.
It's
I
a
know
waste
if
of
you
time.
watch it right now, you curious. You going to want to know what this nigga said.
What Forrest Gump say, stupid is and stupid does? That's Jason
that
Whitlock.
motherfucker right there.
That's stupid.
All right, so I know how we feel about the whole situation, right? But then, like, what do we do? What do we do with the fact that the police was black? Like, what do we do with that? Because for me, it didn't change shit. To me, it's always
It shouldn't
the
change
police shouldn't
anything.
be killing niggas. I don't give a fuck who you, black, white, whatever. The police shouldn't be killing niggas. That's my stance on it. So black or white, it don't.
Like I
make a
said
fucking difference.
earlier, it's no different than what the white government has always done, right?
Yeah.
You know, you look at the Black Panthers. You know, you look at Fred Hampton. You know, you look at people when they're back to the days of Underground Railroad and shit, right?
Yeah.
You know, they always get somebody that look like you to undermine what's going on, right? And that is no different than that, except these guys got badges on, right?
Right.
It's no. I mean, it's no different. That's the only difference it is, right? Just it's legal then, I guess, right? But these are legal agents of the state now, going out and doing the same dirty work, man. We don't do shit with it, right? You hold them accountable just like you would hold a white cop accountable, right? And it's still a policing problem when you look at it.
That's
I
exactly
just
what
hate
it
that
is.
it's giving certain people in the media a license to try to criticize and put their own narrative on this.
Yep.
That's the part.
That's what I don't like.
Yep.
That's the part for sure.
And the thing, when you're watching this, or when you're watching CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, social media, whatever it is, I just ask people to think critically enough, just to not accept those things at face value, right?
Yeah.
You know, everything nowadays is not about news, right? It's about, I have this stance, I have that stance, all that type of shit, right? So I'm gonna bend whatever it is to kind of support, what I believe, right?
Yeah.
So just think about that shit critically. Who's at the benefit? Why does this shit keep happening? Right? Ask deeper questions, right? Not just just that night. Who was it that killed this guy, right? What was the system that enabled them and supported them to be able to do that type of shit? Like you said,
The bigger picture.
Yeah, you see this group coming, and you know what they do. Why do they got a free license to do that shit?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And
Somebody got to ask someone. The buck got to stop somewhere, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's what it is. And I know that there's some places in Memphis that's pretty rough, from what I understand, right? So I think once you start hitting people with that fear, they feel like it's necessary to have a group like this. And that's just how that shit goes. Like you start threatening the nigga's safety, and they just like, you know what? Do whatever you need to do. Like, unfortunately, niggas in Memphis voted for this type of shit to happen. I mean, am I bullshit? No, right? So they voted for this type of shit to happen because, their nephew, Ray and them, then got killed and shit. Like, you threatening me with my safety and shit. If this is what you need to do, I'm voting for it. And that's how that shit get in play. And unfortunately, again, these are niggas who probably was, I hate to put that stigma on it, but probably was whole ass niggas before. And then they get like a whole little, a little power trip. And then that's how they going about it. Now, this is what I do want to say though. And I talked about this Friday. What up, though? My nigga Dre checking in. What up, though?
Hey, Dre.
Oh yeah, rest in peace to my nigga Drew too and shit, dog. Stay homie from Dre and them hood, dog. Crazy shit, dog. Nigga passed away and shit, dog. Rest in peace to my nigga Drew. But shit, what the fuck was I saying? I forgot. God
All
damn.
these shout outs you got thrown on.
Right, we throwing shout outs and shit. I forgot what the fuck I was saying.
Talking about these niggas being hoe ass.
Yeah, talking about. Oh yeah. All right. So what I was talking about Friday, there just lost that whole shit. I was talking about Friday is how quickly, this is the funniest shit. Funny but not funny. Like they hem these niggas up. They hem these niggas up so fast that like niggas didn't even get a chance to protest, right?
Yeah,
So they didn't get a chance to protest. But then what was even faster than that was to let everybody know that these niggas was fraternity niggas. Like when the fuck was this important? Like when did you start associating niggas with their fraternity, nigga?
You see that making top 5 did.
Exactly, and I'm glad they did because I was thinking that Friday. I was thinking like, damn, I hope them niggas say something to separate themselves because you don't want to get dragged into that bullshit, bro.
Exactly.
So fraternity, like, I'm glad they stepped in and said, no, fuck that. We taking them niggas membership, all that shit. I'm glad they did that shit because that would have killed a whole lot of shit. You talking about setting a nigga back?
Yep.
Dog, you talking about setting a nigga? But dog, when's the last time though a motherfucker did a crime and nigga say, what fraternity was he in?
Right.
What the fuck, dog?
Right.
all these motherfucking shit, fucking lambda ass niggas and shit. Get the fuck out of here. When I saw that shit, I laughed though. Like they just had to hurry up and figure out these niggas in the fraternity. So now we get to blanket that whole shit on the fraternity. Like, no, nigga, it don't work like that. And so, and this is where we get into a thing though. My nigga T checking in. What up though, Terrence? This is where we get into a thing though, where like I don't know where to go with this, because I know that it was a rush to justice because they black. But do I be mad about that, or do I just want them to continue the rush to justice?
Both can be true. You know what I mean?
I guess it gotta is. Somehow it's gotta be.
Because even if you look back to like when that shit happened in Minnesota, right? Mm-hmm. When that black cop killed that white woman, right? Mm-hmm. He was wrong, but they threw the big book at that nigga quickly.
Quick.
Like, did he even have a due process? Like, I looked up and this nigga in prison, not jail, in prison. You know what I mean?
So does it help the narrative that when a white cop does it, it gets everybody wrapped up into everybody's protest, and then when it happens with a black guy, they try to get it done and over with as fast as possible? Right. Is that the agenda that you all are pointing out right now?
That's the agenda that's being pointed out. But do we roll with it? Because I want them to continue that shit. Like I want these niggas to get. I want justice to get served on these niggas.
Right. But like I said, both can be true. You can hold them accountable.
To be because they black.
Yeah, and address that at the same. Like they both can be addressed. Right. Yeah. They're not mutually exclusive. Math mutually exclusive.
Right, but look how it was handled.
They're not mutually exclusive.
But look how it was handled. George Floyd, it takes weeks for my man to get fired, and then for them to actually act on it. Whereas Memphis, they jump on that crap quickly. I mean, so quick that people couldn't even get out and protest.
You couldn't get out and protest, at one time.
Why is it treated so different? I don't understand the treatment of it being so different. Because if you're protecting the police, you're protecting the police.
Because just like everything else nowadays, it's about optics, right? You know, so you see, it's like, damn, like I'm glad y'all niggas like came out and said this and arrested them and holding them accountable, but like, what if it happened so quickly if they were all white cops, right? Because we've seen that shit time after time after time after time. So what is to make me to think this one time is different? You know, especially when they all black. You know, that's my problem with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now the only thing that can happen now is that, and this is fucked up to say, right? But it's like the next time that nigga get killed, because like a nigga gonna get killed by the police. Yeah. The next time it happens and there's a white officer, like, we really gonna be sitting on our hands trying to see if they gonna move as fast. Mm-hmm. And this is fucked up though. Like, you just waiting on the next nigga to get killed to see how they gonna handle it. And honestly, you really can't make a judgment call until the next nigga get killed. And that's fucked up though, right? When you really think about it, like, you really can't say shit until the next shit happen. Cause like what you hoping is that they set some kind of precedent, black or white. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What you hoping is they set some kind of precedent, so now this is how they do it. But is that shit really go? In my heart, I'm going to say hell to no.
They need to start getting rid of this shit, qualified immunity and shit, right? Yeah. That says these cops can't be sued and all this shit. You know, anti-qualified immunity club. Okay. So, you know, basically, you know, because it's saying like, hey, if this cop if he did X, Y, and Z, you know, he can't be held accountable, you know, for whatever. I can't sue him, I can't do this, right? Right. Unless, you know, maybe it's like he breaks, you know, he violates your constitutional rights or some shit, like, you know, then he'll lose his qualified immunity.
Hey, it sounds like Bo got a fan in here.
And these cops know this shit, man.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Like, hey, y'all, I've been waiting to see Bo on live.
Yeah, shout out to Sarah Bryan and shit. I don't know who Sarah is. Obviously, Bo knows who Sarah is. Right. I don't know who them. So, Sarah, just so you know, you're getting sent home in the Uber. Like, I don't know shit. As long as you cool with that. I mean,
here we go.
As long as you know you get sent home in the Uber.
I thought we was on the serious conversation.
Yeah, we are.
My bad.
Back to the serious conversation.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
But yeah, so now I'm kind of stuck in a thing. Well, Sarah said that you could send her home in Uber. I don't know where this conversation is going. But she said you could send her home in Uber. Anyway, so just so you know.
Sarah, we can definitely have that conversation.
Oh, shit. But, like, what I just don't want, like, for black people and, all right, I'm going to say it. I hate saying it. But a lot of you fake woke ass niggas. I hate saying that term.
Docile ass Negroes.
I hate saying that term, but it's true, right? Yeah. What I don't want you to do is spend all motherfucking weekend trying to figure out how come they went so fast arresting these niggas? You know why they did. Let's concentrate on the fact that police killed another black man. I don't give a fuck how they. I mean, I give a fuck about how they going about arresting these niggas and shit. But at the end of the day, like, I need that to happen. Black or white, unfortunately, they probably go get set an example by. But I kind of need that shit to happen. Like, I don't want to sound like an Uncle Ruckus ass nigga, but like sometimes niggas, and that's just my disdain with. With police officers, and obviously that's a blanket statement, not all of you motherfuckers, but it's what's fucked up though is when you're dealing with police, we don't really like a lot of their practices, right? But there's moments when we feel like we do need them, and in those moments,
Like when though?
I'm just saying, like there's some moments when we feel like perhaps we can't protect ourselves and we need assistance from authority, right? So. Let's say that's the case though, right? Like if that's what you need, I don't want to have to decide whether I'm going to live or die because of this interaction to try to call and get some fucking help.
So then, and I'm not asking you this per se, but just, just in general,
yeah.
Why do they have to like respond to every situation, right? Whatever emergency situation it is, automatically the police are called to be there, and we already know that these dudes think it's us against them, right? We already know they on some violent shit when they get there. We already know they're talking about some officer safety shit, right? No matter what the emergency is, they're not going to take the time to see, oh, this motherfucker's having a mental breakdown. Maybe I need to do X, Y, and Z, right? No, they're going to say, hey, I'm trying to get home to my wife and kids. And they do what they do because they know that's accepted. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right? And so you look at police leadership and whatnot, and these police, really what it is the police unions that empower these motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
They spend all that money, to wherever, and politics. That's another discussion. But anyway.
Right, because the police chief trying to be mayor,
yeah,
the governor
exactly,
trying to, all that good shit.
That's where the shit needs to be attacked at, man. Like the whole culture of policing needs to be changed, And like, and when you talk about defunding the police, some people think it's like, get rid of them and this and that. No, it's not that. It's like, why is the motherfucking police station buying a goddamn tank and shit? Like, what are they planning to do? They need a fucking tank. Like,
because
what are they
just scared you into thinking.
Exactly.
They scared you into thinking like, we need that
build
tank.
This shit up, and and next thing you know, they've got their own little fucking brigade right there and shit, right? And what are they gonna do? They're not gonna protect the people. Protect us from what?
If y'all didn't understand that, when I tell you when the whole shit with George Floyd was going on and niggas was protesting everywhere, even we was here in the Detroit area doing that shit, and like we went to a march, but like there was a march coming up Gratiot, which is over by the city airport, where I'm from, 48205. Shout out to y'all. But just seeing the riot response police though, like if you see that shit with your own eyes, nigga, that shit ain't cute. You see it on TV, it's like fight the power type shit, right? Like these niggas look like the army. Yeah. These niggas not playing. Like you see that shit, like this not some shit you supposed to see in the neighborhood. These niggas in the neighborhood. These niggas at the CVS. You know what I'm saying? And my boys with tanks and shields and nigga.
I'm saying.
This is military. I'm not with that shit. I'm not with that shit, dog. But these is the niggas that you supposed to be calling to help.
They're not spending that extra funding they get. They're not spending that on training and how to deal with the public. They're spending that shit on arms and like tactics and shit, right? They spending that on how to subdue you if it comes down to it, right? They're not spending that extra money on training and all that shit. It's fucked up that police don't even know like the Bill of Rights and shit, the Constitution. They all take their oaths. Every single police officer take their oaths on the Constitution.
Supposedly.
And them motherfuckers don't even know that shit, right? They don't even know that I ain't got to say shit to you if I don't want to, right?
Yeah.
They don't even know I ain't got to identify myself if you don't suspect me of doing something, right?
And some of them know it and don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Because what you not going to do is oppose my authority.
Because they empowered. They know they can get away with that shit.
Yeah.
And again, we all say it. The shit that before social media, before cameras and shit like that, all the shit that happened then.
Yeah.
Like them motherfuckers damn near like invincible then, right? You imagine what you got to prove and the evidence you got to have to prove some shit back then before all these cameras and social media and whatnot.
That's what they was going through in LA for decades. For decades, nigga. Like, and for every one person that end up dying that you hear about, it's probably 100 more.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just happen to hear about it. Like I'm sure that, you know, I don't want to put this on them niggas, but I don't really give a fuck about them niggas no way. But on that Scorpion squad out in Memphis, like, they done killed some niggas.
Oh, hell.
They done killed some niggas. This when they first go around. They done killed some niggas and got away with it. And it's cool because they niggas. Like, so they just erase these niggas, dog. And that's, it's like, it's even worse when we doing they work.
Yeah.
I feel like it's worse when we doing they work. Like, this is what you wanted any motherfucker way, right? And obviously this can trickle down into the neighborhoods and how we treat each other as civilians as well, though. Because a lot of niggas is doing their work too. We can get all into that. That's a whole nother.
Well, that's the thing that's beautiful about the system too, though, man. They've managed to pit everybody against everybody else and shit, right? You know, everything's a competition now, man.
Yeah.
You know, so like, do I really trust this dude? No, probably not really. You know what I mean? Unless it's some people that you know, family or whatever it is. But like, it's not just black folks that don't trust each other. It's everybody, man. You know what I mean? It's just us so much because, you know, fucked up shit always keep happening to us, right? So we focus on that.
Right.
But man, shit's wild out there, man.
Shit wild as hell, dog. I just, like, condolences to, you know, to Dog and the family. It's just like having to deal with that shit. It's first of all, just going back to what you were saying earlier, Angry Principal, about having that conversation with your kids. That's crazy that you have to have that conversation with your kids. Right? It's just like, we didn't sign up for this shit. Nigga. Like, I remember back in the day, it was like, these are numbers you got on the refrigerator. You got your grandma number, the next door neighbor number, and 911. Like, niggas don't even want to call the police. Because, like, you might end up dying. Right. Like, so I watched this movie on Netflix called, I think it was Netflix, called Canal Street. I don't know if y'all heard of that shit. But black dude, this Chicago. Black kid, his old man ended up getting like what you call that shit when you get a promotion? So he got a promotion. So he was like a high paying lawyer and shit, right? So he moved to moved out to South Side. So he get to this place and shit. He got a little run in with the white kid, little badass white kid and shit, selling dope and shit. You know what I'm saying? They have a little clash or whatever, but then they end up being cool because, like, you know what? Like, I fuck with this nigga. He like, I fuck with this nigga. So they got cool. Dog ended up dying, right? So they went to a party. They left the party, dropped Dog off. He ended up getting killed. They had the wallet in his truck. So he's like, shit, let me get back and get my man's wallet. They pull it back up. He in the street slump. So like, damn. So his man's he's like, dog, it's a dead white boy in the middle of the street. We out this bitch. So his man's gonna leave him. But now we cool. So like, I can't leave my dog in the middle of the street. So he holding dog. He calling niggas to call the police. They pull up. They think he did it. Off rip. So then I'm just looking at how you can't even call for help in real life because, like, if you swap that shit, unfortunately, if you swap that shit, if there's a black kid in the middle of the street and a white dude holding him asking for help, the police gonna come up and say, what happened, right? In reverse, they pull up and they arrest his ass. Like, they no questions. Like,
Right.
And that's fucked up. Like, you really gotta decide whether you go stick around with your man who dying in the middle of the street, but you really can't because he white. What the fuck? I don't want to have to make that decision if we friends. And that's just crazy, though, that we have to do that shit. That's just some extra shit that you got to think about or be when you black. And that's just...
It's just a lot.
And you know what?
It's just a lot.
It's a lot, right? And I talk shit about it all the time, but I always go back to it and say this, too, though. Out of all the shit I complain about, like, I wouldn't have it no other way, though. I'm cool with being black. Like, it's a lot of shit that go with it, but, like, I wouldn't have it no other way. It's tough. But I wouldn't want to be white. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be white. I do complain about it. I ain't going to say I complain. I just point out the bullshit, though. Now, I guess at this point, I think we've been lucky. It's crazy I got to use the word lucky, but we've been lucky in the city of Detroit that we don't really deal with that. I've never had a situation with the police, actually. I know you had
several.
Some, even in the Army, which is crazy. Which is fucking crazy. In uniform.
In uniform and shit.
That's fucking crazy, dog. Yeah. But she talking about, good night, guys. I'm going to bed. Have a great show, but send me some whiskey. Get out of here. I saved you some. I'll send you home in the Uber with it.
Going to 7,
Sarah said, I was married to a cop. They purposely choose cops with lower scores because they know these cops will be the aggressive ones. What you think about that? You think that's Probably some truth in that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably some truth in that. All right, so we talked about that shit.
That's
probably.
why. Yeah, man. My bad. But you look at the military, right? You know, when you join, you got to take what at the time the ASVAB, right?
Uh-huh.
And depending on what your score is, you could this is jobs that are available to you, right?
Yeah.
The lower scores always, you couldn't choose really anything else but infantry. Fighting somebody. So yeah, that shit
The nigga
doesn't
who got to
surprise
be
me.
the most aggressive.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
Don't surprise me at all. Yeah.
Damn, that is kind of true though. All right, so I don't want to talk about that shit no more.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
It's sad.
that's just it's
That's
sad.
just sad.
It's sad
It's like,
on
man.
so many levels though. I mean, it puts you back
Especially
into
now that you're saying it's about a woman. If that's true, then I'm totally disappointed in this.
the fact that it even came up in the conversation.
Right.
It's got to be somewhere.
Like you said, the streets is
Yeah,
talking.
the streets talking, nigga. So
The streets be
bitch
knowing.
niggas number one, bitch niggas number two. How many friends you got? Because it's not gonna be a nigga. It's not gonna be a nigga in my circle that's talking about he want to go whoop a nigga ass because his baby mama. It ain't no nigga in my circle. At least if he do it, you gotta know that I tried to talk that nigga out of it. Like he on his own. Like nigga, I'm not. No, nigga, you go do what?
Like, bro.
First, you lay down with her.
And on top of that, your kid over there, nigga, goofy.
But you lay down with that. That's your choice.
You the one fuck.
Deal with your own issues.
Right, you the one fuck. All right, now, so we over there shit now. What y'all niggas want to talk about? We can talk about something else. I know I didn't take that shit
Chinese
to a
spy
place.
balloon.
So the Chinese spy balloon.
The Chinese spy balloon, boy.
I don't know if y'all peeped this shit, but apparently, and they the ones who said this. That's what it is, right? I believe.
I
could be
honestly,
social
I ain't even
media.
look into it like that. I
That
just
could be
saw it,
social
man.
media,
And I just see everybody, Fox News is flipping out about the shit, man. They think like we about to get attacked and shit, right?
So
I
they
just thought
shot the
that shit was-
motherfucker down though.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So they shot it down. Supposedly shot it down in South Carolina. When I saw it, it was like in the mountains somewhere. It was on the West Coast.
Right.
So they didn't let the motherfucker get all the way over there.
They let it float for a long
They let it float for a
time.
long ass time. Like why? Why though?
Pictures of farmland. That's all. That's all they got.
But I'm saying like, why would they let it go for so long though?
Maybe they thought that shit was something was gonna happen.
Because it
Population control.
probably ain't shit, but it's testing out for something. They trying to see what they can get away with, what they can send over
Probably,
this
but I
motherfucker.
think there's a trade negotiation going on right
Uh-huh.
now. So destroying their property would have messed up the negotiations for the trade, whatever this trade thing is going.
really?
So that may be the reason why. I'm just speculating now.
Damn.
But
There's a lot of shit tied to it.
there is a trade negotiation going on with China right now. Because China's in a weird spot because their population is so low.
Yeah.
The population
which-
is older now.
Which is what they wanted.
Right. They
Kill
got,
all the goddamn
but
kids.
now they're reaping the benefit. They're seeing the consequences of having a one-child policy.
The policy,
because
yeah.
now your population is older. You don't have enough workers to fund
Facts.
everybody else.
They weren't
that's
looking at
going
that
on.
shit.
So now it's starting to backfire on them. So there's a trade negotiation going on with them, with the United States, for all the stuff. So I think that may be the reason they didn't shoot it down immediately.
Maybe.
But
That
the
shit
minute
weird.
you saw it in the Rockies, you should have.
That shit was going down.
Should have been coming down.
That shit should have been coming down there. You know what? Some shit I seen on the way here, though. I don't know if y'all seen this shit. Actually, it wasn't on the way here. Shout out to Dub. Dub sent me this clip, this Trump clip. Did you see that? All right, so he had sent me this Trump clip, dog, where he was saying they trying to make some legislation for it to be illegal for kids under a certain age or whatever to be trying to declare their identity and shit. And something about only being able to declare what you were originally assigned with as as a baby and shit, right? I'm not a Trump supporter, but I fucking agree, bro. Like, you're not just gonna be sitting there telling me that you a girl when you a boy. Living at my house, you can be. This is the thing. You can be gay as fuck. Like, you can be gay, but you're not gonna be a whole nother person. It's not gonna happen.
So, I mean, there's a reason we have age limits for certain things, right? There's a reason you got to be 18 before you vote, 21 before you drink, 16 before you drive and stuff like that, right? Because of how your brain develops and how you're able to process information and how you be able to, react in the world and shit, right? So, I mean, I don't know. If I'm not old enough to vote at 9, 10, 11 years old,
Right.
how am I old enough to decide, like, to decide what am I a man, woman, whatever, you know.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like that just, I mean, 11-year-old me, man, shit, I was motherfucking, let me tell it, I was in the NFL, like 5,000 yard rusher,
Right.
100 touchdowns every season,
All that shit.
all that shit,
All that
right?
shit, yeah.
You know, but I mean, whatever, man. I don't know, dude. Like that. I get it, man. People, it's different times, and people,
I don't get it.
I mean, I get it where, to the point where like, people trying to differentiate themselves, so much nowadays, man. Just because everything's like through a certain lens. You know, you got to do X, Y, and Z to stand out, to do this and to do that.
Yeah.
It's really not cool just to, just do what you
be
do.
you,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Just be you, right?
Right.
So I mean.
So it ain't cool
Everybody,
enough.
yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not saying that's an excuse for anything, like, but because the shit,
You get real
it's
careful right
complex.
now, boy.
it bothers me because like I don't see how somebody that age is gonna make a decision like that,
You
right?
shouldn't be allowed to make a decision.
Right? How you gonna make it? I mean, that's
Every teenager, their tastes change with the wind.
exactly right.
One minute you like one thing, the next minute you like something different. So you shouldn't be allowed that early on to make a decision that's going to be so permanent and life changing.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Because you are still developing, right? You becoming a different person. You developing your personality.
I don't understand it,
Yeah.
but that's just me not being able to understand what somebody else is going through. Okay, I admit that. I don't necessarily understand
Don't understand it. Yeah.
what you're going through as a gay person. I don't get it, but that's on you. That's your life to live, not mine. I'm not trying to live your life. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get the understanding out of me because I don't get it.
Right.
I just flat out don't understand it.
No,
so
I agree.
I'm not saying that you're wrong for feeling that way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I don't get it.
Yeah. No,
And I'm not wrong for not getting your perspective. I'm just not wrong for that.
oh yeah. No. Yeah. I'm
And
definitely not.
the agenda is being pushed so hard. I'll give you an example. That show on HBO, Last of Us. I love the video game. The video game was one of the greatest video
heard the
games.
show was
possibly.
good.
The show
is
great.
good. You talking about the last episode they came out with?
Last week was about one of the main characters in the video game, Bill. Well, Bill, it was implied that he had a partner.
Yeah.
Okay, but we didn't need to see all that last week.
Say it
We
was
didn't need to see the love scene.
Don't
where-
say it was beard on beard.
It was. It literally was. It was Harry on Harry. So Nick Offerman, you know the comedian Nick Offerman, he played the straight guy on Parks and Recreation. One of my favorite comedians. To see him kiss another dude hurt me, man. I was like, I almost turned it off. I fast forwarded through the whole part because I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
That's not necessary. I don't necessarily want to see man and woman kissing during that moment because I want to see the zombies. I don't necessarily want to see
Zombie flick, yeah.
I don't want to see all that stuff, the romantic stuff. So whether it be man or woman or man on man or woman on woman, I don't need to see all that. And the agenda is being pushed so hard that sometimes you get kind of like, you get turned off by
And people act like it's not. Like, no, it's definitely an agenda being pushed.
It's getting pushed hard.
And I say that because, like, in real life, dog, I see more gay shit in movies than I do in real life.
Thank you.
Like, God
Thank
damn, when do inclusion become overdoing it? Like, I don't see this much gay shit in real life.
My wife and I sat there and thought about it. We was like, how many gay couples do we know?
Like, for real.
Two.
But
And
you gonna
one
see
of
at
those
least
couples
3.
is no longer
Yeah.
apart because one of the persons passed away. So we
right,
really
right.
only have one gay couple in our entire circle of people, and I know a whole lot of mofos.
Right, exactly.
And I only have a couple gay people in that whole circle.
Right.
So why is this on every TV show I see? And I'm not saying you can't live your life, have fun, do what you do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be something that I have to see every single day,
Yeah.
no matter what. I do. So, no, I don't understand it. And fault me for that. And do I need to know? Nah, not necessarily, because I really don't care. Live your life, do what you do. But it shouldn't be in every single thing.
And just for the kids, though, it's just for the kids, it's like, again, I stand on this shit, dog. If I have a kid, dog, it's like, you can be as fucking gay as you want to be, dog. But you're not going to be somebody else. You are going to be a gay boy or gay man. You're not about to be a girl. Now, once you 18, you an adult, and you making your own decisions. If you would like to change your gender or however they do that shit, that is completely on you. But like as a kid though, How do you get to make a decision like that and can't even fucking play the lottery? Like you can't even make a wager on the fucking Mega Millions, nigga.
Can't drink, can't do anything.
But you go to tell me that you a whole girl.
Right.
So Coach Prime went to Colorado.
We moving on?
Man.
We moving on? Okay, all right, we moving on. Coach Prime, what you think about this? We moving on. We off this subject shit, Now, a lot of people don't like Coach Prime tactics and shit. I fuck with Coach Prime.
I fuck with Coach Prime.
Especially,
I like it.
Have y'all niggas watched the Amazon shit?
Yeah, I've been watching it, yeah.
Man, that motherfucker made me wish that I was still playing football, nigga. Like that, he is a master motivator and shit, dog. Like for real. And then I got a different respect. Like I already had a respect for him for what he did at Jackson State, but like seeing the behind the scenes shit, like on the documentary and shit, just gave me even more respect, dog. And it also made me, sorry to say this, angry principal, but it also makes me question the fucking, black colleges and how they handling shit. Some of these black colleges is not doing what they supposed to be doing.
If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, call them out. I understand that.
And that's supposed to happen. Yeah.
I get trying to get in there and change stuff, but I'll give you an example. Ed Reed, he handled it the wrong way. He walked into Bethune-Cookman and just started trying to wreck stuff immediately. It's like, dude, just got here. Yeah. Relax. Yeah. If you want to change stuff, change it. But you don't put us on blast like that. Yeah. If you want to change something, change. You don't put the entire university on blast and make us look like effing idiots.
But did they need to be put on blast?
No. Because once you get to that level, you're not a professional. Mm-hmm. You're a professional anyway because you're getting paid for it. You still got to handle things the right way. Yeah. You can't just go on to IG and start cursing like you. Who you trying to attract and you acting like you from the hood like that. I'm as a parent, I'm not sending my child to you because you're not acting like the kind of man that I want my child to be. Mm-hmm. So I had a problem with Ed Reed going down there acting a fool on Bethune-Cookman. Yeah. If you say that you didn't like the way things were handled, get in there and change it.
I mean, but I will say this.
Put them on blast like that and you just got the job, don't do that.
I will
it's
say
still
this.
the right way to handle things.
I will say this, though. Like, he went and did that shit. He went on social media and made some shit. And after he did that, then some students started speaking out. Cool. So perhaps if he hadn't have done that, no. The students would have never said nothing.
It's not the fact that he said it. It's how he did it.
Yeah, I got you.
It's not what you say, but how you say it. Yeah. He said it he handled everything in a completely wrong way.
First of all, he should have never went to social media on this shit.
But Deion
he should have went to their ass.
But Deion had the same complaints about Jackson State.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't hear about it.
You didn't hear about it until after stuff was already fixed.
Yeah, everything was done. Yeah,
You're right. He didn't blast them while it was going on. He didn't blast them before it. Yeah. He waited until after stuff was fixed, and he said, "All right, this is what happened. This is how I changed." Mm-hmm. That's how you handle stuff. You don't do it the other way.
You're right.
If any college doesn't handle things the right way, call them out. I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. But you got to do it the right way.
Yeah. You're right.
Not all criticism is bad. Not all things that brought to light are bad for the university. Mm-hmm. But you got to at least handle things the right way.
I can feel you on this shit. But what you think about that shit?
It's a complex situation, man. Like, I was one of those people that I wanted Deion to be there, right? Realistically, I used to coach college football. Realistically, I know he wasn't going to be there for the next, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, right? Like, I knew that. But, it was good to finally see these organizations starting to get some love, right? Mm-hmm. Starting, not only just in the media, but like from these big time athletes. And we know nowadays, like the student athletes, they have a lot of power, right? And to see them to actually start to acknowledge and pay attention to the HBCUs again, like it used to be way back in the day, 70s and 80s, where all your best NFL players came from HBCUs, right? Yeah. And I guess, my thing is this too. I'm not mad at Deion for leaving, because when you got him, I'm 100% sure Jackson State University's administration knew what his aspirations were, right? Mm-hmm. Right. And Deion's the type of dude not to hold that to him. I don't know the dude personally. We are obviously talking about from what we see, right, and from what we hear. But he doesn't seem like the type of dude that's going to be like, I'm going to be here for this. He's going to make that clear. Like, hey, these are my goals. This is what I want to get done, right? But while I'm here, this is what I want to make happen too. And those folks that, I get it, I feel y'all, some of them folks are like, man, Deion is this and that for leaving, he should have stayed, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I get that.
Because he really gave them some hope, though. Yeah, and not just the school, but like the fucking city.
Yeah, because it felt good for them to get that. But I want people to also understand this. Jackson State University had a strong tradition like that before Deion as well, right? You know what I mean? Like he put them on the map like that, but they were still tight knit community. You know, season tickets, people always out there supporting the football program, right? So that didn't happen because of Deion. He's the one that kind of blew it up, but it was there before. It can last. You know, it can survive. You know, without him.
And like people, you know, fans is fans. You know how you never know.
I think fans is short for fanatic, right?
Yeah, exactly. You'll never know what bag they coming out of. But like for people, other people in the league, other coaches and shit, to come at them sideways and shit, I felt like they didn't understand. Like they don't understand the concept. Like, you know, at some point, if you can go in and change the culture of a school, I've pretty much given you the blueprint. So now all you do is take the baton and keep that motherfucker moving.
But let's just break it down to the most basic of facts. You're getting $300,000 from Jackson State. Colorado gonna pay you $6 million. What you gonna do?
You out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people will change jobs for $3 extra an hour.
Nigga, $1.
So this man's about to get a $5 million raise. He's gonna take it. I'm fine with him leaving. That's cool. I would have loved for him to stay at Jackson State 2 more years. 2 more years, he would have been considered a legend. Just flat out legacy would have been written because he spent 5 years down at Jackson State. But for that amount of a pay raise, you got to go. You got to do what you got to do. You're getting more resources, more people, more money put in what you're doing. I understand you bounce. But you left the situation better than when you got it.
Right.
For sure.
That's all you can ask for.
And how about this? How about the fact that Colorado became relevant immediately? Immediately.
I'm talking about immediately, though.
Immediately.
Niggas
right?
was not even thinking about Colorado.
Kansas transferring and taking visits out there.
Yeah.
Like, Colorado became relevant immediately. You know, and more or less, I'm thinking they paid for that more or less than actually having Coach Prime. You know what I mean?
I do think the SEC.
I gotta read this comment.
Go ahead.
Sarah said, "Y'all have a good night. I totally sent Q a message with my number for Bo."
All right, Sarah.
Let's get that Uber Black ready.
Get that Uber Black ready, my dog. I had to read that shit. Anyway, go ahead.
There were several jobs open, SEC, Big Ten, stuff like that. Nobody, he jumped on something quickly because I already thought he was blackballed out of those positions because they already saw how, if you can make that big of a difference in 3 years at Jackson State, that's dangerous for everybody else. Now you're about to go out to the Pac-12 and completely rule things for the next 5 years. Completely change.
And God forbid they start winning.
But I think that's almost going to be me. You go from 1-11. All you got to do is win 6 games.
Right. I'm about to say you win 6 games.
As long as you qualify for a bowl, you have now become the guy's greatest thing to coaching. He's doing the right stuff. He already said, I'm not trying to go to the pros. So all he's trying to do is get these bigger and bigger programs and take them to the next level.
And in the meantime, I don't want niggas to forget, in the meantime, he is getting these niggas scholarships that they probably wouldn't have been getting. Like, he getting niggas into situations where, like, I don't want to say niggas, but he getting these kids into situations where they can go play college ball. Whether that's at Jackson State, whether that's at Colorado, wherever the fuck he at, he doing what he's supposed to do as a coach. Like, that's just happening. Yeah, you can be salty. They're like, damn, we ain't gonna get the recruits that we used to get because he ain't here. But at the end of the day, like, this nigga's a coach and college football coach, and that's how that shit work. Like,
but you still gonna get the recruits. Okay, so I don't know if you all watched the TNT. They had the black colleges playing this weekend. I forgot the name of that particular league. But they had a bunch of black colleges playing on TNT this week.
Yeah, like the XFL,
and on every single one of them teams, you had white players.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're not getting opportunity.
Yeah.
You're definitely getting opportunity.
For sure.
It's just they're taking advantage of it in different ways. And so the light was brought by Deion to all this stuff. All right, fine. That was his legacy. He brought a lot of attention to black colleges.
And what I'm really hoping though is that Jackson State has a good season next year because they've got good coaches on the motherfucking roster and shit. So
they got good athletes, more importantly.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that they keep that shit going. Like I don't want it to be like a supreme drop off when you leave because then it's go make the niggas who was complaining feel like they was right.
It helps because like Mo Williams used to play for the NBA. He was the coach at Alabama State. He left Alabama State. Now he's at Jackson State, and you saw him playing this weekend. I think they played Elizabeth City. was a great game. It was you could see him out there actually coaching and teaching.
Yeah.
But all these players, these old players, they coming back and they actually going to these black colleges. It's nothing but a good thing.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't
but
care
a
how
good
long they stay. It's
For
nothing
sure.
but a great thing because you're bringing attention to black colleges when they were almost forgotten about as far as athletics.
thing. Yeah, for sure.
I'm good
Nah.
with it.
I'm just mad that niggas wanted him to die in that bitch though.
Right.
They want
That
to
was
coach
stupid.
there for the rest of his fucking life,
That was
dog.
stupid. No, you know what? It's not because he always talked about legacy and his
His
effect
legacy
on-
is him though.
Right, but if you stay at a black college, you become the next Eddie Robinson. Your legacy is enshrined after you die.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, people had that in mind for him.
Had that in mind.
and it didn't work out that way. And that's his right to do whatever.
Because
he wanna
people
do.
got in mind what they want you to do.
So, how about speaking of Eddie Robinson? How about with his Eddie Robinson
Jr.?
Junior. That's not. I don't think that's his son. I think it's different.
I
But
thought that
anyway,
was done on purpose.
yeah. But
I think that was for show.
right.
Probably so.
Just to get more attention into
Right.
it's some real animosity between coaches. And stuff.
Right.
I thought that's all it was.
But anyway, I mean,
It was good theater.
Right.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it was great.
Like,
Because Eddie
I don't know,
Robinson don't have that much to hang on.
because think about it, right?
Plus, you at Alabama State and as a Tuskegee grad.
So
whatever,
here you
Alabama
go.
State, whatever.
Here you
Yeah.
go.
So you've been a SWAC coach for however long, right? You know, you doing this with your program, you doing that, and all of a sudden this dude comes along and everything's about him and his program, right? And you have an idea of what SWAC is, and then when Dion comes there, everybody else now has their idea of what SWAC is, right? And that may clash about what you think, right? So I mean, as an established coach in that conference, I can see some of them coaches, you know,
Feeling some kind of
feeling
way.
some type of way. But my response to that is, okay, then go beat Jackson State if you feel that way,
That's
right?
it. That's
you know,
it.
then go beat them, right?
And that's what those two
Right.
universities. So was that South Carolina State and I forgot the last
I forgot
one.
the other one. Yeah,
They beat Jackson State.
Right.
And that brings more attention to your program. Do what you got to do.
All I'm saying is this, like, I don't know, it may have been some theater, yeah, you know, it's just, but I think some of those coaches do feel some type of way about that, like, seriously.
Feel some kind of way, but then you got to go out there and do the extra work to get the attention on you.
Like I said, you go beat them then.
you
If you
gotta
feel
do.
that way, go beat them.
That's simple as that. It don't get no simpler.
Right, exactly. You know?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you see some of these majority universities, if there's a change in coach, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You hear about it. You see it on the news.
Facts.
Tuskegee's changed coaches this year.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about it. If I hadn't gone to the website to see that they,
You wouldn't
just,
even-
I wouldn't have even known that
Right.
they had changed coaches. So,
Yeah.
you know, if it's going to bring some eyes on there, I thought that's what they were trying to do. I understood on a marketing standpoint. I understand. Get the controversy in there. Get the rivalry going.
Yeah.
Brings more eyes into the picture. You see
Yeah.
more people not only looking at
Capitalize
Jackson
off that
State
shit.
players, but now looking at Alabama State players because they are doing what they need to do. So I understood the game.
Yeah.
I rather enjoyed it.
Right. For
Y'all
sure.
see my man on 60 Minutes, though?
Dion.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
I love that nigga, man.
He's like, you in the presence of a champion, of a winner. He's like, you feel it?
You feel it?
Yeah.
I think so. You feel it? Y'all
Strahan did a good piece with him.
Yeah,
on Amazon.
Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
that's
did
what
they did a good job of having him down there. So I
I fuck
thought
with
they
him
did-
too, though.
I thought they did a great job on everything.
Strahan went to HBCU.
Yeah, for
he
sure. Yeah, I fuck with him too.
Texas Southern.
Yeah.
Texas Southern. So,
Hey, so
yeah.
look, sticking on the coaching shit, you know what I'm saying? We got fucking Wheatley down at Wayne State. Like, what y'all feel about that shit?
That's
Dog?
dope.
Fastest dude I've ever
dope.
seen in my life in person.
Where he went to Robertshire, right?
Yeah, he went to Robertson.
Where's that at?
Dearborn Heights.
Dearborn Heights.
Man,
Okay.
when I say I've never seen somebody that fast in my life in person, I swear in high school there was nobody faster. So to see him actually full circle go through Michigan and come back and wind up coaching at Wayne State, good job.
I do got to say this though. Shout out to Coach Winters, man. Paul Winters, who was the head coach before.
Okay.
Because like he the one that took Wayne State to that national championship, right? You know, a lot of them changes that you see at Wayne State now, the facilities and all that stuff,
'Cause of him.
came about because of him, right? Like, yeah, maybe it was time for him to go. He had been there for a long time. I get it, but he did a lot of good things for that school and that program. So, I mean, it's not like he was some bum or something like that, right? So, like, yeah, I'm excited about Wheatley too, but the coach before him, you know, did a lot for that
Kind
school
of did
too.
some work.
Yeah.
They could be able to
Don't
pull
forget
a
about
lot
that.
of city players just based off his name
Yeah.
alone. That's a good hire.
And that was gonna be my next question and shit with Wayne State, because we turned this bitch into a sports show. But with Wayne State though, like for real, even like with UAD to an extent, but like with Wayne State, that bitch like really in the heart of the city. Like, what do you think like the football program? And I always put it on the football program because football is usually the biggest draw. Like, what do you think they have to do to get like local activity. Like going to a Wayne State football game should be the shit for Detroit people. Like that should be some shit we doing.
Are they Division 2 or 3?
Division 2.
Two. So yeah. So and they've been pretty decent. Like so, I wonder like what kind of marketing do they have to do to make like going to a Wayne State football game the thing?
I think they're doing some of the right things, right? Like I think what started with them, well, not started with, but I think what contributed, what helps a lot, is you look at their new basketball, center now, right? Yep. And the G League team playing there, right?
Yep.
Doing things like that, trying to get interconnected, with the city. Because if you go down there and you take the tour of the facilities and all this other stuff, right? It kind of feels like it's own little thing, but then there's some areas, around there where you feel like it's part of the city.
Yeah.
And I think the more they reach out to the city and they start doing things like that, that may help, right? But the other thing you look at it is around Midtown, right?
Yeah.
And what's really around Midtown right now is a lot of white folks, basically.
You know what I mean? It's the safest city. It's the safest part of the city.
It is, right?
You got DPD and Wayne State Police at the same time.
But
fucking Wayne State Police gave me a ticket.
At the same time, though, they still doing camps for like PAL and shit like that, sound mount, sound body, and all that type shit. Like,
shout out to
and I'm sure Tyrone Wheatley, I'm sure he's gonna use his name and his connections to get some things to connect with it. Yeah. Especially if he's not from the city, but being around that area, he gonna do some things to connect.
But it's also your matchup. So if you get a Wayne State going against a Jackson State. That's going to bring some people in. You get a Wayne State going against some of these HBCUs, they need to start doing that.
Because at they level, though, because
it's a lot of
they all Division 2. If they all Division 2.
No, so Jackson State is subdivision. Division 1.
Division 1. But if you bring in some of those HBCUs, more African American kids are going to look at Wayne State.
Like Central State and stuff like
That should be kind of dope, actually. That should be kind of dope.
But it's your scheduling now. Because you want to bring exposure. Because a lot of these kids, they already know, I'm going down south. I'm not trying to stay up here. But, I can still have some exposure to some HBCUs and still be at Wayne State. It may be a second option for somebody. You got to bring, it's your matchup.
Just like I'm going to give you an example.
You can't go against North Dakota State and think that you're going to get some exposure on that. Nobody comes to see North Dakota State.
So just like the best high school in the country, shit, Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School down the Riverside, right? So just like down there.
Where?
Right? Down the Riverside.
Huh?
King.
Who?
Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School.
Talking about. I never heard of it.
Yeah, we had that weak ass school on the west side. I know you ain't talking about that little weak ass school who just got a football team and shit.
Hey.
But no, I say all that shit to say about Sterling, right? About Sterling, Sterling Anderson used to play at King and shit. His son play now and shit. I want to say that he ended up going to let's see what's going on out here. Yeah. We're gonna pause for the call and shit. We might have to pause this motherfucker for real. If you hear gunshots and shit, if you hear gunshots, you know what's going on. It do sound like somebody to drive with. That's what I want to get into this whole thing about Wayne State and just like recruiting in the city. Like I want to touch on that shit real quick. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the thing. I don't know why they missing out on that shit though. But I did want to talk about Sterling for the simple reason is this. I want to say that he ended up going to Davenport, I think. But it's like he had a couple of people ahead of him like his first few years. He's a senior now, obviously. He getting ready to graduate. But like I don't feel like you can have a kid that good in the city, like going to King, like he right there down the street. I don't feel like you could miss a kid like that who might not get the D1 look, but like he right there in your backyard. Like I just don't see how you miss a recruiting opportunity like that, dog. And that's the thing I'm curious is maybe that would Dog make it a little more concentrated effort. You know what I'm saying, recruiting from the city, or is that even a thing though? Because just because you want the best kids, don't mean that they gonna come from the city either though.
Yeah, it's true, but you should at least put the effort in.
Yeah.
To try to pull those kids in.
Yeah.
Even if you go to the game for one kid, you see the other.
Yeah, you see the other.
There's another kid on the team you're gonna see, and you wind up pulling that child instead.
Yeah.
So you gotta at least put the effort in.
Right. I can feel that.
I think Wayne State misses out on that sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Because I look at that situation because I'm just thinking like, damn, you can't let somebody like that be in the city and you right down the street.
It's not the 5-star recruit Wayne State wants. It's the 2 and 3-star.
Yeah, for sure.
They need. So
yeah, exactly.
That's where they got to go for.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to think about. But I think that's a good acquisition. I'm hoping that they do well. I really want that to be a thing though. Like I said this shit before, but with Wayne State being like, especially down in Midtown in that area, is an entertainment district now. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much down the street from Hockey Town, down the street from where the Pistons play at and shit. It's like it's a thing. Like going to a Wayne State game should be a thing.
Wayne State should be like Temple.
Yes, exactly.
It's in the middle of the city.
Exactly.
And you need to you getting recruits.
Exactly. And even though obviously Temple is Division I and shit, but like it kind of reminds me of that though, because like you in Philly, like you literally on Broad Street and bam, there go Temple, you know, that type of shit. So it's like literally right there. And I feel like Wayne State needs to be, you know, one of those situations and shit where it could be like that. And I don't know if that come from like local businesses, like kind of pouring into that, or is it just about recruiting and shit? Like them being so close to the entertainment district is like they need to capitalize off of that shit. Because literally down the street, you going to Hockey Town, you going to Little Caesars Arena, like literally down the street.
Fundamentally, when it comes down to it, they got to win.
Simple as that.
You got to win. Because
I mean, the Lions won't win it. Niggas still going in.
They still win.
That's the NFL though, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know. I'm fucking with you.
But who wants to see a bad product or average product? Bottom line is you got to win. You know, they start. I mean, yeah, they've done okay. You know what I mean? Like that year they went to national championship. Like obviously they did really good.
They did really well,
right?
yeah,
You know, but you know you got to be. You look at a program like Grand Valley, Division II, same conference, all that good stuff, right? And they've established that tradition. You know, they win all the freaking time, right? You know, Ferris, same thing. They win all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and Ferris is what, Big Rapids, Michigan. They get all the athletes, right? They go to Big Rapids, Michigan.
Hell yeah.
They win. You know? So, I mean, like, yeah, we got to do all that other stuff too, right? Because it's right there in the city. But can't forget, like, you got to win. Simple as that.
Yeah, you got to win. That's for sure. That's the thing, though. I don't know. We talked about a lot of shit, though. Anything else y'all always want to talk about? Say we ain't talking about shit.
I said, no, we did talk about that shit.
Anything else we want to talk about before we get up out there?
I'm good.
Yeah, you good. I'm good for real. I'm high as hell. Like this.
I'm drunk.
Right, I'm buzzing. This cigar starting to hit. I'm about to smoke the rest of my quarter of weed and shit. Aries ready for us to leave and shit. She's like, nigga, whose bag is this? Like, this the same bag that's been there. Nigga. I'm trying to think, was there something else I wanted to talk about? Because we've been gone for so long. It seems like there's other shit I want to talk about, though. That might be it, though.
Top 50 rappers?
Huh? You want to talk about that shit right quick?
I thought that's what, I was just
guessing. Yeah, fuck it. Let's end it on that. Let's talk about that shit. So, Angry Principal, I don't know if you caught any of the show on Friday morning, but we was talking about top 50 rappers, right? So, and the top 10 is probably out now. I'm not sure because the Grammys is tonight, and I think they was doing the Billboard magazine did the top 50. They did 50 up until 11 posted so far. This the thing though, and you about to pull it up, dog. So, fucking like Jada, Redman, motherfucking Black Thought. These niggas is down in like 40s and late 30s, dog. I can't imagine who the fuck would be up top. Like you talking about niggas like real lyricists, dog, and like these niggas is way at the bottom. I don't know who in the top 10, but I'm assuming that Eminem is in the top 10 because they haven't mentioned him yet. I'm assuming that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a safe assumption.
Yeah.
It may be one that I don't agree with, but.
And as much as I fuck with Gucci, like Gucci is ahead of Black Thought. Like, how did that happen? What is the criteria? I guess I'm wondering. Did they put it up yet?
I'm not still looking.
Oh,
It sounds like the same list as you get on the Forbes 500. You got to pay to get.
You got to pay to play.
Put your name. That doesn't make sense to me.
I know one thing though. Ain't no Wu-Tang. It's like, no, let me click
They
on this
got
shit.
Tupac, Jay-Z,
This dude, bro.
Biggie, Snoop, Kanye, Drake, Eminem, Nas, DMX, Lil Wayne. I mean, it goes down, but
That's what list is that?
So,
Because the what's called list had DMX low as fuck.
Yeah, Billboard.
really,
Yeah, because the DMX list.
Are you looking at the year-end list or the?
I was just reading something.
Yeah, the Billboard. Yeah. So they do this every year, I guess.
So it says here, the teams took into account the following criteria, not in any particular order: body of work, achievements such as charted singles, albums, gold, platinum certifications, cultural impact, influence, as to me how the artist's work fostered the genre's evolution, longevity, lyrics, and flow.
Yeah. And still, them niggas was at the bottom, though.
So I'm on the Billboard one.
Billboard for 2023.
Yeah, well, Redman's 42.
That's the list.
That don't make
That's
sense.
it.
That's fucking crazy,
That's
right?
it.
Nigga,
Yeah.
Black Thought is like 38. Most Def is like 40. Shit crazy. Like, I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
But they got Gucci at like 30. He higher than them niggas. I don't know. So anyway, top 10 though. Y'all got a top 10? Because they didn't show the top 10.
I got a top 10, but like it's gonna take me a minute. But you put me on the spot right now. It's gonna take me a minute to put that together. I think. Though.
Yeah, you got one? Angry Principal? I know you probably got De La Soul, De La Soul, De La Soul.
Dylan.
No, I mean,
And what's crazy is that whatever 10 you come or we can just do 5. But like even whatever 10 you come up with, it's gonna be crazy because them niggas is probably in the 40s right now. However they did this list, they got niggas low as fuck. Like
they got like Chuck D at 34 and,
No, right.
and Busta Rhymes at 33. That don't make sense to me.
man, shit. Like I said, DMX is like in the 20s probably. Well, he ain't in the top 10 because I know they ain't did the top
I
10
know
yet.
Scarface better be in the top 10 then, because they ain't mentioned them yet.
They didn't mention him yet.
Black Thought is 28.
See what I'm saying?
That doesn't make sense.
That don't make sense
He's
though,
top
right?
10 to me. I mean, he top 5 to me.
Top 5?
For me.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily going
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't necessarily follow it.
What is your top 5? I'm curious. Motherfucker, African Bambaataa. Poison Clan.
All right, Biggie's number 1.
Yeah.
That is just, it's not even close.
Okay.
Biggie's number 1, and then in no particular order, you dealing with the Q-Tips, the Fifes, you dealing with
Q-Tip was in the 20s, I think, or 30s.
yeah. See, that don't make sense to me because it's too much. At KRS-One is top 3 for me.
KRS-One was low.
Yeah, they have him as 24.
Yeah,
That's
low. That's crazy. Rakim was low. Rakim was in
I
the 20s.
immediately don't want to look at this list anymore because you got KRS-One as 24.
Right.
That just is stupid to me.
Yeah.
DMX 21.
There you go. There it is. 21.
Big Daddy Kane 20.
That shit low, right? So you curious as fuck. What's at the top?
Ice Cube is
18, I think. Was it something like that? 18.
is 18.
18,
What?
yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah.
That's NWA. That's
what
everything NWA did. So how is he 18?
And Dre on the list.
Right.
I don't feel like Dre should have been on the list
No,
at
he
all.
shouldn't have been.
It's gonna be like Drake number 1, Eminem number 2,
Scarface 16. Scarface 16.
Scarface 16.
Scarface 16. Okay. Yep.
He way higher than that for you. Right.
Oh, top 5 for me.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Rakim 13.
That's low. That's low for Rakim.
Andre 3000 12.
Yeah. I'm not an Andre 3000 fan though, so I'm a big boy fan.
I don't know. So
So
as long
they
as
still
Biggie
ain't-
number 1, I'm good.
They still ain't did 1 to 10?
Alright.
Okay, yeah, so I ain't did that shit. So what's your 5, dog?
So Biggie, KRS-One, Black Thought, Fife, Q-Tip, and you can throw some other people up in there.
Yeah. Damn. Fight and Q-Tip?
Yeah,
Both of them?
yeah.
Both of them.
Both of them.
What?
Both of them. That's some classic shit.
I
mean-
can't get with it. I can't get with it, dog. I can't get with it.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm just,
So he got Too Short, Soldier Boy,
oh, I'm sorry, Spice
Young
One.
Dro,
Yes, with
Spice One. These
somewhere.
niggas with Spice One.
Spice 1.
That's out to
Oh,
my
you
boy.
know my
That's
list
out to
crazy.
my old roommate Marcus. That was his favorite rapper. I had never heard Spice
shout
One.
out to Marcus.
So Marcus Nadell. That was Spice One. That was his.
What was,
guy.
what was that one album? America's Nightmare? That was my shit back in the day.
Fucking Spice
America's
One.
Nightmare.
That shit crazy. This nigga said Spice One. What you say, dog?
Spice One.
My top 5.
Yeah, my 5 goofy.
Face, 8 Ball.
This is in no order or this
No,
is
no
order?
particular order. Face number 1. 8 Ball. From there, man, it's probably gonna go. Probably Biggie.
Damn, 8 in your motherfucking top 5?
8 Ball. 8 Ball one of the best lyricists ever. cuz.
He in my 10. He in 10 for sure.
Yeah,
I've always liked
Andre
8 Ball better than
3000.
MJ.
And then probably y'all ain't gonna feel this one though. Probably Prodigy from ID.
Word.
Yeah.
Word? Prodigy.
Question: is Eminem in the top 10?
He
He
will
probably
be.
because he ain't getting mentioned yet.
I mean, off record sales, yeah, but just off of what you like.
You mean for me? Personally?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Okay.
No, not for me.
Not even
And it ain't no diss. It's just I don't like that shit. Yeah, I don't like that shit. But then again, you know, niggas ain't gonna feel me on this, but neither is Nas or J. Cole or Kendrick in my top 10.
J. Cole sweet, Kendrick sweet.
Yeah, but they ain't in my top 10. So, you know, my top 5, you know,
Nas sweet too.
my top 5 is all,
MC
you know.
Light. Who else?
Huh?
MC Light. Who else?
MC Light. Well, you know, my top 5 is motherfucking Too Short, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Too Short, Pimp C. You know, they're my top 2 and shit, just because it ain't lyrics, it's just pimp shit. I like that shit, you know what I'm saying? So, they're my 2, and then it's motherfucking, these are interchangeable, Redman and Mos Def, either one of them 2, 3, or, you know,
Yeah,
3 or 4. So, you put them 2 in there, and then I round that shit off with my nigga Big and shit, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like,
That's what's
Redman for sure, because shout out to my nigga Kodak Lee and shit, dog. Put me hip to the Red Tape, dog. This was Redman, maybe second album. I can't remember. I think it was the second album was the Red Tape, and I've been fucking with that nigga since then. That's 95, I
Okay.
guess. Yeah, that's like
Can I
95.
throw an honorable mention in there?
Yeah, for sure.
DJ Quick.
Dog.
I was thinking about that.
Niggas
Quick.
sleep on my nigga Quick, dog.
DJ
Niggas sleep
Quick.
on Quick.
That's my honorable mention.
And Quick, low key, niggas sleep on Quick on the production tip.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Niggas sleep on him on the production tip, for sure. Like Dre, you know, Dre made a name for himself for sure, but like, you know, when you come into that argument of producers, like you can always throw fucking Quick in that bitch and Daz, nigga. Like Daz a dog ass producer, nigga, for sure. But yeah, that's my top 5.
There's one guy that always threw me off was Shock G.
Digital
Digital
Underground.
Underground and then damn Sex Packers. That's still a classic ass
Sex
album.
Packers was the
That
shit.
That was his classic album. So.
Six Packers was the shit though.
$1 or $2. You know, that
Yeah,
was
motherfucking Poison
but
playing that,
it
man.
was only because he was so creative. He was so out there.
Yeah, for sure.
He always did stuff that was so different.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, I put him up there.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun.
The Tupac
Listen,
was in Digital Underground at one point.
Damn, and Pac ain't nobody top 5. Nope.
Nope.
Damn, I just beat
I
that
fuck
shit.
with Pac, but no.
I fuck with, but not like that.
Not like that. No.
That would be mad as fuck.
I know, wouldn't it?
He'd be mad as fuck right now, though. But yeah, for me, like, a lot of it is just sonically. Like, I like the way shit sound.
But Pac was schizophrenic rap. one minute he was pro-black, next minute he was fuck a bitch, and you know it was just he was all over the place. So I could never.
He what niggas is.
It's that young black man. That
Yeah,
young black man
trying to
angst.
figure it out. Yeah, what niggas is. Dog.
But I always called it schizophrenic rap. He was all over the
Yeah,
place.
for sure though. Hey, before we get out of here though, I wanna ask this question about this football shit though. Before we get out of here, I wanna know everybody's number 1 favorite motherfucking player of all time.
Oh,
dog.
Bo Jackson.
Damn, off rip, you ain't even think about
Bo
that
Jackson.
shit.
Yeah.
Damn, straight
Bo Jackson.
off rip.
Off rip.
What about you, Angry Principal? This is a random ass question.
That's a damn good one.
Bo Jackson, that's a damn good
one.
one.
I can't argue with it.
And obviously the niggas at Tecmo Bowl thought so too.
Oh, what?
Shit.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson.
Fucking Bo Jackson. What'd you say, dog? He said that shit with no heads.
Yeah, that was pretty up there.
Yeah.
It had to be Barry Sanders though.
Barry Sanders?
Yeah, only because he brought so much excitement
Yeah.
around here, and you never seen anything like that. You still haven't seen anything like that.
I'm definitely a Barry fan. Barry's the best back to ever play in the NFL.
For sure.
It's just I don't know. It was just
Bo Jackson was a fucking
that was
freak
my
of
guy
nature.
then. Yeah.
For sure. For me, dog, I ain't even gonna lie, man. And niggas might would see where I'm coming from, I guess, maybe, I'm not sure, but my fucking favorite player is Warren Sapp, nigga. Like, that's been, I guess maybe because I played that position, but it was just like, it was something.
He wanted the best to do it.
He wanted the best to do it, and it was just something like, I felt like while he was playing, he was always him, nigga. Like, he never was nothing else. You go get Warren Sapp, that's what it is.
That's why he ain't commentating no more.
That's why he ain't got it. Exactly. Because you go get what he is.
Did you see the clip of him coaching Jackson State?
Oh yeah.
Man, that was impressive.
Yeah.
No, I ain't see that shit.
Yeah, that
It was on the series, wasn't it?
Was it on the series?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see it on that. I saw it on
he
YouTube.
was
Oh, it's on
there.
YouTube? Okay.
He was there, but I don't think they showed
man,
him.
it was-
Maybe that's
that
why I
was-
saw that then.
That
on
was
YouTube.
impressive, man. You
But that,
did-
that was dope.
I wanna see
Words
that
of
shit.
wisdom he was dropping on them, and just how to play the position and hand position stuff like that.
Oh no, they must have been on that because they showed him on the documentary, but they ain't showing coach.
I want to say Houston, who was a rookie for the Lions,
Yeah,
was a
James
part of that
Houston.
group
Yeah.
that saw that that worked with him.
Shout out to James
And,
Houston.
Yeah, that was impressive.
6th round pick.
He know the game though. Warren Sapp know the
Yeah,
game
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Warren Sapp know the game, yeah, for sure. That's my.
You got to be. You know,
Shy say Barry
Hall of Fame.
Sanders and Mike Vick.
Mike Vick for sure.
Mike Vick's a
Yeah,
motherfucker.
both of them,
though.
yeah.
For sure. All right, one last time. Since he said Mike Vick, dog. Number one quarterback of all time, dog.
All time.
Warren Moon.
I knew you was gonna say
No, I take that back.
Yo,
I take
Negro
that back.
spiritual ass nigga.
I take that back.
Houston Oilers.
McNair. It
Right.
was straight up McNair. He was I
McNair.
saw him
You seen
play in
McNair
college.
play.
I saw him play in
See,
college.
I
It's
wish
the
I could've
greatest thing
seen
I've
that.
ever seen in my life.
You
I've
seen
never
some
seen it.
niggas? You seen some niggas at their level?
Man, I've never seen anything like that. That
I wish
ball
I could've seen that.
flew down that field so many times.
Yeah.
And that
Eric McNair,
his wide receiver got in the NFL because of
Because
those
of
passes.
him. Yeah.
So Eric McNair, that was the best one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man. So, who you think was the best quarterback ever, or like our favorite quarterback ever? What you saying?
Because that could be different.
Yeah,
That
it definitely could be different. Yeah.
All right, let's do both. So you said that's your favorite
McNair, totally.
all across the board.
Done.
Okay.
McNair.
Because I think mine gonna be different on that too. Yeah. So what you think, dog? The one you like the most and the best
The
one.
one I like the most,
Yeah.
Randall Cunningham.
What?
Yeah.
Randall Cunningham?
Yep.
My brother would love that.
Randall Cunningham. Yep.
Yeah, motherfucking Randall.
The one who I think the best quarterback ever.
Uh-huh.
I mean, most people would probably say Tom Brady.
A lot
Right.
of people.
I'm gonna say John Elway.
Dude. What?
Can't go wrong with that.
You can't go wrong with
Can't
it.
go wrong with that.
Because
Can't go wrong
I'm
with
looking at it from an X and O perspective, right? I mean, like the dude was a master on. I mean, I know Tom Brady didn't do this and that, but you can argue with Tom Brady. He just seen it all because he played so long. Like
Yeah.
John Elway, that motherfucker came out the game like a fucking surgeon. Like
Yeah.
he dissected every. He was one of the first to start. The check with me's and shit. He was one of the first to start to do that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he
Gotcha.
understood the game so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm going with.
For sure. Damn, dog. I hate I ask this question because like I gotta answer it. I want to answer it truthfully and shit, right?
It's Aaron Hipple, ain't you?
I was stupid.
Right.
son.
See,
Only reason I even know who that is because my old man had said something about it.
Andre Ware.
But I want to say this, dog. First of all, let me read Shy shit. He said his favorite is Mike Vick. He said, but the best he thinks is Peyton Manning. All right, so
Hey man, you can make a case for him
Yeah,
too.
you
definitely, and that's what I'm gonna do. So Peyton Manning is who I think is the best quarterback, and I think maybe it's probably biased because I seen the nigga play when they played the Lions and shit. I was able to go to that game. That was that year when he was taking the Johnny Unitas shoes with him everywhere and shit. Dog, seeing that nigga. It's poetry in motion. Like this nigga controls the field. Like I feel like he know where everybody at before he snapped the ball. That shit is like it's some shit I ain't never seen with my own two eyes, nigga. And you see the NFL, the NFL is so much faster than it is on TV. Like when you see that shit transpiring in front of your eyes, and you see how he handling that shit, I think he might be the best. But I ain't gonna lie to you, my favorite quarterback before this shit happened in Mississippi, dog, was fucking Brett Favre. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm sorry. I had to be honest, though. He was my favorite because
Before he started robbing welfare.
Before he started robbing welfare, because he would just throw that bitch. Like he was a nigga who didn't. He had no regard for whatever nigga I'm throwing that bitch.
What was that game?
I used to love that shit. Dog.
500.
Yeah.
Throw that
Dog,
bitch
just throw that bitch up. Dog, I swear, just throw that bitch up. I used to love that shit, dog. And I hate saying it now because of the shit he involved in. But he used to be I liked him the most, because he didn't give a fuck. He was a gunslinger, and I like that shit. Like he definitely threw probably more bad passes than good ones. But when he made the good ones, they was prolific, niggas. Like I love that shit. But if I had to choose a nigga who wasn't in hot water like he is and shit, who else I like, dog? I'm trying to think now. Like I don't even really know because I'm gonna tell you who I like. Right now, he ain't like my favorite quarterback and no shit. And niggas hate me for this shit, dog. But fucking Baker Mayfield, dog. Like, I fuck with Baker. I don't know why, dog.
Garbage. Talk a lot of shit. That's all.
I fuck with Baker.
Because he's garbage.
Hey, Burrow is cold, though. Yeah. Burrow cold. It's gonna be him, motherfucking, Pat Mahomes, of course, and Dog from Buffalo
I'm gonna
for a
ask a
long
question.
time.
Is he though?
Yeah.
Burrow? I mean, because
You don't think so?
you go back and you look at the stats, right? So you look at the last 10 games. Mm-hmm. Goff's numbers were better than Burrow.
Yeah. I guess if you look at it number wise.
I mean,
Sometimes I'm looking at the
But Burrow
intangibles.
they always in the hunt at the end. and that's a big deal. I don't care what the numbers are, but they're always in the 100.
Let me ask you this question then: is that because of Burrow? Is that because he got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and
I
shit?
mean, it's a team sport.
T. Higgins about to get anywhere from 15 to 20 million a year.
Yeah, and he deserved it.
Yeah,
he deserved that motherfucker. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm not saying
That's a
Joe
good
Burrow
question.
bad. I'm just saying that we deserve all the praise he did. Right? And old boy from Buffalo, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Do something, bro.
Yeah.
He just get to the playoffs and lose. Do something. You know, for you to be the one of the elite, you got to take the next step, cuz.
Best right now is Mahomes, though.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Oh,
ridiculous.
Mahomes like Steph Curry in fucking
That shit's
NFL.
You can't argue with it. You can't argue with it.
Yeah, this nigga.
Ridiculous.
And God forbid this nigga ankle is good for Super Bowl, nigga. Because he doing that shit with a bad ankle.
Right.
This motherfucker going down throwing that bitch throwing
That
about
nigga Jalen Hurts.
Like,
I like Jalen Hurts.
I don't.
I like him.
I'm a hater. I'm a hater, bro.
Only because he went to Ohio State, so that's the reason to hate. But
Let's go, Jalen. Let's go.
I'm a hater. But what? All right.
I want Kansas City to win only because my brother likes the Eagles so much.
Yeah.
I just want to.
I've never been an Eagles
I just
fan, I
want
ain't
to
gonna lie
be
to you.
opposite of him and just to mess with him. That's all.
Hey, look, for real, we for real about to get out of here though, in real life. But
Put on that Joe Burrow.
right, that shit was hilarious. That nigga over there
Put
funny
on
as
that
hell.
Joe Burrow.
That nigga over there, he a real nigga. This nigga said Cam Newton before his career ended and shit.
Cam Newton at his prime though.
Yeah,
Cam Newton
Cam Newton
was
was cold.
that
He was
deal.
cold, but he wasn't.
Newton's
He
cold.
wasn't
Man.
nowhere near best conversation.
Best ever.
Nowhere near that.
He could have maybe
Cam Newton was
got
sweet
to
though.
that. Yeah, he maybe could have got to
In
that.
his
shit.
prime, yeah.
Yeah, damn, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. Fuck, I guess it's time to get out of here because I'm buzzing. I had a whole little
You
situation
said something
to say.
about Mahomes.
Yeah, what was I about to say about that nigga? Fucking, we out here, dog. Too much drinking. V just checking in. What up, though, V? Yeah, we out here. So I'm tired of talking. I'm high. Don't forget, check us out this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a brand new episode of the Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey podcast, where we are reviewing, I don't know which one we did first. Hudson. Yeah, we did Hudson Whiskey, New York. All right, so make sure you check that out. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are now checking us out right now, this is the happy hour show. This is our live show after we record our actual shows. So it's going to be a lot of blatant shit that I'm saying that don't make sense. Because I'm buzzing at this point and we just saying goofy shit. If you just now checking out, though, make sure you go back to the beginning where we was talking about sending a bitch home in the Uber. Like, this is the funniest shit ever. Rewind to that part and watch that shit right now. We up out here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel, dog. That's it. Till the next time, man. We up out here. Everybody loves BBW, man. Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey podcast. We in the motherfucking building. My man, Angry Principal, holding it down.
Drink what you like, how you like.
My nigga Bo in the building.
Before I say I say, it's okay to send a girl home in an Uber, especially if it's an Uber Black. I say.
And of course, man, it's your boy Q Lewis holding it down live for the 4205, man. Peace out, y'all. Dog, you dirty.